What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for tuning in. So today we kind of got a mismatch odd video, something I wasn't actually planning on filming, but I figured maybe some of you guys would be interested in it and get some entertainment out of it. It's nothing crazy today. It's actually nighttime right now, but it is what it is. So what I've been working on and what I thought you guys might be interested in seeing, just for entertainment purposes, is I've been working on my old headlights, getting them all cleaned up and wired up and ready to ship out for the new owner that's taken on them. So a while back, kind of when I started the headlight build of my Projector headlights for my truck, Eduardo reached out to me, said, hey, I'd be really interested in getting your old headlights if you'd be willing to sell them to me. And I was like, perfect. I'd like to see them actually go to a good home. And this guy and his brother actually run a 7.3 Instagram page. They're kind of fresh. They're high schoolers, just doing what they enjoy, kind of like what I've been doing. But they're just getting started. So that's where my old headlights are going, is to Eduardo, and I'll link their Instagram page or put it in the bio or show you guys it just so you can check it out. They got some cool stuff. One of them actually is running a 7.3 with a 6.7 front end swap, or maybe it's a 6.4 front end swap. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's a cool truck, kind of unique. And they're just doing some cool stuff. So if you feel like it, if you have an Instagram, go check them out. So that's who the old headlights are going to. I'm just cleaning them all up and everything, getting them ready for them. And I figure most of you guys haven't actually really seen my old headlight build. The last time I did a video on them was a very, very long time ago, and the channel was tiny, probably couple hundred subscribers or less. So I figure, what the heck, might as well give you guys a little bit of a video of what the old headlights actually were and what I'm changing from. I've made comments about them before, nice LED rings and halos and everything. They're super cool, and now that I actually have them all wired up again and I'm using them again, I gotta say I'm gonna miss them a little bit because they're pretty sweet headlights. So I'll show you guys that in this video, and then I'm thinking I might actually go for another test drive and give you guys another good look at what the new headlights are actually like from the driver's perspective. I know in my last video I didn't have a ton of driving time on them, and it was at like the 35-minute mark of the video, so a lot of you guys may not even seen it, which I don't blame you. It was a very long video. I wasn't expecting it to be that long, but I put a lot of info into it. But I had a couple guys reach out to me and ask me, hey, can you do a little more driving video so we can actually see what it looks like from your perspective? So I figured I might as well put that into this video as well. Oh, also, I almost forgot, the guy that won the door emblems reached out to me, and I'll be shipping those out this weekend, hopefully. Got them sitting over there on the edge of the desk, or on the edge of the table. So those have your name on them, and they will be coming out your way. I'll be packaging those up tonight as well, along with these headlights. Not in the same package. So yeah, let me show you guys what these old headlights were actually like. They're pretty sweet. So these are the old headlights that I had in my truck that I've mentioned in other videos, but haven't done a real in-depth video on how they actually look and work in a long time. So I'd imagine most of you guys haven't even seen it. They are from the same company as the last set of headlights I built. I can't remember the name of the headlight company, but I have them linked down in the description below if you want to go check them out. But yeah, it's basically same lens and everything. It's just a smoked out lens and doesn't have the Harley Davidson style. And so I did the same thing I did on this last video, where I heated them up, took the lenses off, and then on these I went through and installed all these halo rings inside of it, and they're pretty darn sweet. They're controlled off of this app on my phone, the Magic Light app, and then I can go through and fully customize all the colors that I want them to run as. So let's say I want them to be blue or dark blue. I'll turn it on. Sorry, turn it on up there. And there you go. They're all lit up nice and pretty like blue headlights. We'll switch them over to red. We can go to green. Kind of hard to see on the camera, but you can go to a light blue. I mean, honestly, show you guys how it looks, but you can do any color you want. If you want pink headlights, you can go more of a pink. You can go red, yellow, green, blue. That's pretty darn sweet. And then you can just have preset functions, and that's how I would run them, is like that. Now You can also do some cool settings. So now, yes, most states it is illegal to run blue lights, or for that case, blue or red lights on your truck. Kind of one of the reasons I'm getting rid of them is because I just ended up not running them as often. But as far as for show purposes go, they were pretty freaking sweet. And then, of course, you can do some things that would probably be frowned upon, like you can change settings. So you got flashing lights. We can get this one that'll really get you in trouble. Of course, you can slow it down so it doesn't actually flash like cop lights per se, or you can speed it up and, you know, get to your destination a whole lot faster if you don't get pulled over and get your truck impounded. But yeah, there's all sorts of different settings that you can do. Go to all 7 colors. You can set it up so it takes music off your microphone and plays them like that. So like if I were to go to the disco setting here, and as you can see, it's already picking up on my voice, but I'll get some music playing very briefly so I don't get copyrighted. So let's go with some Elvis Presley for this, some Jailhouse Rock, and I'll play it briefly so you guys can get an idea of how it works. And there you go. So you kind of get an idea of how that actually works. Again, I'm not sure when you would use that, but it's kind of cool. I would mainly just run it like this, where when you turn on, I had it wired so when I would turn on my running lights, it would turn on these lights. And then, of course, I can also have it where they just don't turn on at all, and they look like normal headlights. So there you guys go. That's kind of a look at my old headlight setup. Obviously, I'm not going to be running them anymore, but they're pretty sweet, and I thought some of you guys might enjoy seeing them. They will be going on Eduardo's truck over at, I think it's 7-3 Bros. So if you want to go check them out, feel free to go check them out. But yeah, so that's my old headlights. I'm going to finish up getting these all wrapped up and boxed up for them. And then I'm going to hop in the truck and take you guys for a quick test drive so you guys can get an idea of what the new headlights are like again, and not on a 45-minute video. So let me do that real quick and I'll catch you guys in the truck. Well, alright guys, as I'm sure you can tell, we're in the truck letting it warm up a little bit, and she's about ready to go for a drive. Like I said, there are some people that asked me for a little more driving footage of what it's actually like driving with the new headlights, so that's what this is for, trying to appease the audience a little bit. So I'm just going to do some kind of back road country driving and then maybe get some long straightaways so you guys can see what it's like. And I'll really do my best to show you guys the difference between the low beams, the high beams, how far they stretch out, just whatnot. Give you guys a good feel of how they're actually like. And this will help because there's actually some people that have reached out to me asking me to build them a set of headlights. And so now they'll be able to get a real good idea of what the headlights actually look like going the route that I went. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. I don't know how long this section will be. I'll do some editing in it, but I want to give you guys a good idea of what it's actually like driving. So I'm going to set you guys up on the dash. Hopefully you guys don't go flying off. And let's go for a drive. Also, if you don't really care that much about the headlights, you'll at least get to enjoy the sound of listening to a 7.3 drive. It's a fun noise. Alright, so now you guys will be able to start to get an idea of what it looks like without any street lights, just the lights of the headlights themselves. There's a good shot of the cutoff line of the headlights. To say it really does take some getting used to having that cutoff line, because you're so used to having your lights scattered a little bit more, and so it actually shines up above and down the road a little bit farther, and so having that cutoff line where you literally can't hardly see anything above it. Obviously your eyes can see better than what the camera is showing you guys, but it is very, very dark above that cutoff line. And so it does take some getting used to having it that dark above the cutoff line and having the light down on the road. So I'll wait for this guy ahead of me to turn so I don't blind him. But then I'll turn on my brights for you guys so you guys can kind of see what it's like. So there we go. That's with the brights on. Let's turn them off. Now you can see how dark it is and what's above it. Pretty spectacular. So I'll drive with the brights on a little bit. And I mean, this doesn't do it justice because you guys can't see out how far it is actually seeing, but it is a long ways. So I'll turn the brights off. Perfect timing, we got a car coming. Around this corner, turn the brights back on. Absolutely incredible. Like, it looks like the camera's doing it pretty good justice, but it is so good. I mean, it's like having a 50-inch light bar on top of your truck, but you can do this and make it totally road legal and safe to drive on the road where you're not blinding oncoming traffic. For those of you that live in deer country and have to concern about deer, having this much light output putting onto the road is so awesome. I mean, it's just phenomenal. Alright, so here's a test for you guys. For any of you that have seen my fog light video, if you haven't, I'll link it in this video. But I did a comparison of my old headlights versus my old headlight. So I made a video a while back showing the comparison of my old headlights versus my fog lights, and just how unbelievably bright my fog lights were compared to my headlights. For those that don't know, I run rigid fog lights, and to be completely honest, So to be completely honest, when I would run my old headlights, if I turned on my fog lights, I could barely tell my headlights were actually running. So what I mean by that is, if I was running my headlights and my fog lights, if I turned off my headlights, I couldn't hardly tell that I even turned them off. That's how bright my fog lights were. So now I'll turn my fog lights on with these headlights and show you how much of a difference it actually makes, because it's almost the exact opposite effect now. Alright, so let me turn my fog lights on. There you go. So as you can tell, the road is lit up a little bit more, but to be completely honest, it doesn't make a huge difference. It basically makes my current beam pattern just a little bit wider. So I'll turn them off. Hopefully the video does this justice for you guys, because on, off. So it's really not a huge difference. And if I turn the high beams on, here, let me turn them off while we're going around this corner. Alright, so we got it clear now. So if I turn my high beams on and then turn my fog lights on, I bet you won't even be able to tell the fog lights are on. So I'll turn them on. There they are. So it's a little bit wider, but honestly, it's not a huge difference. But I'll tell you what, having my fog lights on and my high beams on, you'd be hard pressed to beat this light setup without spending more than $600 on a set of custom high-end HID projector lights. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, as far as how far out it reaches with the current aiming that I have, I don't know how many yards that would be. It kind of depends, because it has such a strict cutoff, kind of depends on what type of hill you're on. But if you're on perfectly level ground, which I'm not right now, I'm going downhill a little bit, but it's probably, I bet on level ground, you're looking at pretty close to 100 yards of good, clean light. Then you turn the high beams on and it's ridiculous. So hopefully this video gives you guys a little bit of a better idea of just how awesome these headlights are. Even though they're not perfect, they're still so much better than what any of the factory style housings are, that like I don't think I will ever be able to go back to a regular style headlight after living with these headlights. Absolutely phenomenal. I used to absolutely hate driving at night because my headlights were so bad, and now I actually kind of enjoy it. Like, that gives you a comparison of how awesome they actually are. Alright, so for those of you that made it this far in the video, I'll give you a little bit of a run on the 7.3. Hopefully I don't knock my camera off. We'll let you guys enjoy it. There you go, a little bit of fun for you guys. It's getting foggy. Oh man. Alright, I'm gonna catch you guys back in the back of the house. Alright, one last demonstration. There's the high beams for you guys. Low beams, high beams. Absolutely phenomenal. And I know I keep saying that, but there's not much better way to describe it. Alright, we're going to call that a wrap on this driving session. I'll catch you guys back at the house. Alright guys, there you guys go. There's a good, real, full driving session so you guys can actually see what the headlights are like. I know I showed this in my last video, so if you guys already saw it, or that little piece, hopefully this gave you guys a little bit more insight to what they're like. I'm sure when I go back and edit this, I'm going to see just how many times I said that they're awesome. I know it was a lot, but I'm really happy with them. For how much of a budget build this is, they're phenomenal. And now I say budget build, it still cost me probably, me myself, not including any labor, well over $200. And some of you guys may think for a set of headlights, that's kind of crazy. But in terms of actual retrofit builds, putting projectors in and everything and how they run, you can easily be looking up close to $1,000 for a set of retrofitted headlights for somebody. So that's another reason I like doing things myself. Obviously I didn't do it perfect, I made some mistakes, but the headlights still turned out phenomenal, and I saved myself a lot of money. Now, that being said, I put probably over 20 hours worth of work into this. Part of that's because it's my first time ever doing it, so it just took a whole lot longer. So it is just a bit of a learning process. Now, it is a slow and tedious thing to do, but I'm sure as I keep doing more, which hopefully I will be, because it seems like some of you guys are interested in having me build you a set of headlights. So hopefully as I keep doing more, I get better at it, get faster at it, and I can make better products for you guys. And then of course down the road at some point I would love to build myself another set of these, but just go all out, get some of the best components I can buy, and just see how good they actually are. That'll be a little ways down the road. I'm still enjoying these ones for now, and my wallet doesn't exactly want me to do that quite yet. So I know this wasn't the most exciting video as far as videos go, but that's just kind of how it works sometimes. Life is busy, and my wallet isn't a bottomless pit. That being said, I do have a good amount of projects lined up for this truck. A lot of stuff going in underneath the hood of the truck. Should add some pretty good performance to it, which is awesome. And to be completely honest, that's some of the last power upgrades I'm going to be doing to this truck is what's coming up here pretty soon, or at least for the immediate future. I cannot say, well, what I'm going to be doing to this truck a year from now or 2 years from now, or even if I own it at that point, I don't know. This is actually the longest I've ever owned a vehicle at this point. But I do have some cool stuff coming in. We got a sponsorship for the channel that I'll be announcing here pretty soon, which is awesome. It's the first sponsor. They help get a pretty sweet part for you guys to see and for me to try out for them. So I'm really excited for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave it a thumbs up. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you are curious in having me build you a set of these headlights, like I said, I'm not an expert. You guys see exactly where I went wrong. I know where I went wrong. You guys saw where I went wrong, and you guys see the final product. Overall, like I said, I'm pretty darn happy with them. But if you guys are interested, feel free to shoot me an email. I have an email attached to this channel. I think it's in the About section or whatever. If you go to my channel page, it should be listed there. I'm also on Instagram under the same name, Living on Wheels. That's actually the easiest way to get in contact with me, is a direct message through that. But either way, if you're interested or just have questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I will get back to you guys all at some point. It's usually pretty quickly. Yeah, I think that's probably about a wrap for this video. With all the driving time, it's getting pretty long. We'll see how much of that I cut out, but I want to give you guys a pretty good amount of it. I asked this in my last video, but I'm thinking about bumping up my uploads to twice a week and having the second upload not exactly be a build or whatever. Sometimes it would be, but it's more, the second upload would be for me to answer any questions that you guys have in real good detail. I get a lot of questions from people, and it's not always the easiest to answer it through direct messages or email. So I'm thinking about creating a second video, maybe on like Wednesday nights or the middle of the week, to just do an upload, and you guys give me all your questions that you have, whether you want me to go in depth on a certain part of my truck or whatnot, something that you guys are curious about, and I do a video on it, whether I get to 2 or 3 of them in one video, or one video takes up, or one of them takes up the entire video. Just give me an opportunity to connect with you guys a little more, get more videos out there for you guys to watch, and answer questions that you guys have, or go into more detail on very certain things. So if you're interested in something like that, feel free to let me know. It's not easy getting multiple videos out a week, especially when you're working full time. YouTube's not my job. YouTube adds the extra 10 hours a week or more onto my 40+ hour weeks. But I think I can manage that if it's something you guys want, so let me know. Yeah, hopefully you guys have had a good weekend. I think the rain is starting to come in this weekend. Hopefully not, but I think it might be, which is going to make videos a little trickier. Just winters in Oregon. We'll see. If you guys like the video, leave it a thumbs up. Comments down below always help. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. We got a lot of cool stuff coming, like I was saying. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.